I'm Jeremy Bowen with Varsity Franchising. I'm a franchise consultant. Today I'd like to talk to you about a real conversation that I had with a friend of mine. So he's in a place I think a lot of people are at. He's in his mid-50s. He's got 2 girls about to go to high school. He's sitting there and he's going, man, I know my situation where I'm at. I know I could do more. He said, but it's going to be 10 years before I can retire, even thinking about it where I'm at right now. And that retirement is going to keep us steady. We're going to have enough based on my 401k, based on the investments that we've made, based on the value of the house and the fact that that'll be paid off and a lot of our other stuff will be paid off. We'll know that we'll be able to be stable in our retirement, especially once we add in a little bit of Social Security. He said, but however, I sure would like to have a little more. I just don't know that I could ever find the money to go out and invest. You know, investing in a business is expensive. And I said, yeah, it's not cheap. You know, you get out of investment. There's a reason we call it an investment. You get out of an investment when you put into it, time-wise and money-wise. But I sat there and I talked to him and I said, you know, realistically, let's talk about a franchise. Because, well, number one, it's me, and I'm probably going to bring up franchising. It's my passion. It's my calling. I absolutely love helping people with small business, and a lot of times a franchise is the way to do that. But I started talking to him, and I said, okay, well, let's definitely talk about franchising, because franchising has more consistent numbers. We can at least start talking about numbers in a franchise capacity. You know, if we start talking about starting a small business from scratch, depending on what it is, we have no idea what the costs are going to be and what the returns are going to be and what the long term is going to be. But if I go out here and I start talking about a franchise, I know what the item 7 is going to be. I know they're going to have item 19s out there in their franchise disclosure document that are going to show me some information there that I can actually take to the bank and say, hey, you know, I mean, sometimes literally, but I can say, hey, I've got a pretty good idea. If it did this many times, it'll probably do the same thing in this type of territory. And so we started talking about it. And I said, you realize there are some franchises that are in the $60,000 to $70,000 range. They're not as expensive as you think they are. And he goes, well, I don't have $60,000 or $70,000 sitting around. And I said, well, you don't need to. Banks love franchises. Primarily because if you've gone out and you've done a business 30 times in a row, they're probably going to fund the 31st one because they've already gotten a pretty good return on their investment and they know it's a proven model. And so, yes, they're going to make you do some due diligence and things like that. But for the most part, that's a much safer bet than if you're going out and you're starting something up from scratch. And so all of a sudden, the banks are on the back end. And not to mention, if we're talking about something that's SBA certified, now we're talking about an SBA loan. So now we're talking a signature loan with 10 to 20% down. So now for $10,000 to $15,000, you're talking about owning a business. And he goes, yeah, but I can't quit my job and do that. And I said, of course not. But there's also opportunities out there, and I'm not saying every opportunity is a $60,000 to $70,000 opportunity that you can work 10 hours a week in, but there are plenty of franchise opportunities that are absolutely built for you to have a W-2 job, to have your comfort level right there financially while you start that business, so that when you get ready, you can leave the W-2 and the business is already growing. And so when we start talking about the amount of opportunity that's out there, when we start talking about the amount of time that you might have to be involved, and we have to start talking about the amount of money that you might actually have to come out of pocket versus your full investment, there are so many different opportunities out there that people just aren't aware of. And I'm not saying there's a silver bullet for everybody and you can go out and you can make $300,000 a year off a $60,000 investment that you're spending 10 hours a week in. Because we all know, if you go out there and you invest $150,000, you're going to expect more than double your return than what you would have gotten on the $60,000 investment. Otherwise, we'd all invest $60,000 and make $300,000 a year and do it over and over and over and just scale. But not everything works for everybody and not everything works the same in every place. But what we know is there are some opportunities out there in the lower price ranges. There are some things, and he started talking about it, and he goes, well, heck, if I only have to put 10 to 20% down, I bet I could figure out how to put 30%. I can put 30,000 down. If I could put 30,000 down, now all of a sudden our price range is closer to 150,000. And then we're talking because now we've taken his amount of opportunities that he can evaluate and look at, and we have exponentially grown them. So when you get to that $100,000 mark, or you start getting to that 120, 130, then all of a sudden the opportunities that are available to you just grow exponentially. So there are a lot of opportunities that are available that not everybody's quite aware of, but just DM me with the words "own it," and let's have a short conversation and find out. Are you as stuck as you think you are, or are there opportunities that might benefit you? It's worth having the conversation.